Good morning, everybody. Hey, thanks for tuning in again, checking out another video I wanted to get out there to you. Starting off the new year right, we're just going to do a quick SMART goal training. Got down to the creeper of the stairs. You can probably hear Callie chewing on some toys. Vacuumed since yesterday, so we'll see how long it is until she de-stuffs another toy. So kind of just jump right into this thing. I was listening to an audiobook yesterday by Bob Proctor, and one of the biggest takeaways I heard, it kind of just made my mind just start thinking and kind of got me to the point where I'm at right now of, I think I kind of understand what this concept means. So the quote that stood out to me is, "We don't get tired, we simply get bored." So when I look at that, I like to use analogies, comparing, us as human beings to computers. Well, what happens to a computer when it's on and processing? It's going fine, all that. What's up, Shane? Thanks for jumping on, man. But as far as computers, if we're not using it, the default setting is for the computer to go to sleep. It's still running in the background, but you've got your screensaver going on, and eventually it shuts off. So the concept of, if we're not using our minds, if we're not being actively engaged and creative with our minds, I mean, we're a higher level creature. So if we're not using our full capabilities, I talk about this on one of the video trainings I've released, but Maslow's hierarchy of needs, if we're not fulfilled with our food, our shelter, our clothing, our creativity is, not a major priority at that point. But for us to function at our highest level, we have to have that, all of our needs taken care of, and then be thinking in a creative way to create something new, to help others, all that stuff. So I think that quote by Bob Proctor is, if our minds aren't working at our true potential, of course we're going to get bored. And have you ever been wrapped up? For me, it's snowboarding. I can snowboard for hours on end, but as soon as I stop, I start getting bored. That's when I get tired. They say a body in motion stays in motion. So I think kind of putting our goals around this concept, something that energizes us, something that's going to be working in our higher power of being creative and unlocking that creative power, we're not going to get bored. It might be tough sometimes, but at some point, we're going to have to push through that and just let our creativity take over. Challenges, as humans, we're created to overcome challenges. So looking at things, instead of looking for problems, we're looking for solutions. So be mindful of that when you're setting your goals for the new year. It's never too late to modify or even start goals from scratch. If you've never started goals before, that's why I wanted to do this quick training. So with Efficiency Coach, my business, how I work with my clients is, a lot of people can just read this article. I've got the article posted at the bottom of this page, but being able to read an article and then apply this to your life, a lot of people can do that. But I do have to ask you, are you one of those people that can do this on your own? Some people don't, and that's how, certified life coaches like myself, obviously stay in business, is supporting people and really just helping them define their goals and unlocking their true potential. So let's jump right into this. SMART goals, it's an acronym for specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time-oriented goals. So basically, I'll kind of break these down one by one. So the S of SMART goals is, specific. Whatever our goal is, it has to be something that is very, very specific. If we have a lot of ambiguity in our goals, we're not going to be sure if we actually completed it or not. So if you say, I want to get a lot of money, stealing this from Bob Proctor's book that I was reading, who knows what a lot of money actually is? It differs from person to person. But if you say, I want $1,000, that's very specific. That's a very defined amount. So making sure that your goals are specific, that's going to be the first step in setting your goals. Second, it's measurable. So for me in high school, we went over the SMART goal training, and it went through one ear and out the other, and I just, I could care less. But now that I'm older and I've kind of practiced this, I've been able to actually track all of these goals, and when I'm struggling and never really getting what I set out to get, it's because I'm not following this formula. So keeping this formula in mind is definitely going to help a lot if you're looking to set some goals that you actually want to achieve. So the second step in this is measurable. We need to make sure that our goals are measurable. A good way to track things, I mean, there's plenty of apps out there these days if you're into technology and getting things tracked for you. But being able to make sure that we have a starting point and we can measure, did we accomplish this? How close are we to accomplishing this? What does that look like? If my goal is to earn $1,000 while I'm at 750, I need to keep going. Or maybe my goal needs to change directions. But that's, if we don't measure it, we don't know where we're at and where we're going. So the second one, depending on where you're at, the third step in this is attainable or action plan. For me, I like to stay action oriented. We need to create a lot of kind of just audacious goals, having huge goals. We talked about this a little bit yesterday, of having big goals, because then the adrenaline kicks in and we actually can achieve it. It goes back to, if we get bored, well, I need to make $5, not a big deal. I can probably find that doing the laundry. But if I need to make $1,000, oh crap, I actually have to take action now. So attainable, I use the analogy, flying to the moon. It is attainable, but it's not necessarily attainable for everybody. So we'll talk about that. So I always like to use action plan as the A. So this is where you're going to set your step-by-step. Well, if I want to get $1,000, I'm going to track it and make sure that I get there. But here's what I need to do. I need to set out and put in the work. These specific steps is what I need to do. So that's going to be the action plan. Next is realistic. So like I was saying earlier, maybe I want to go to the moon. That is attainable. There's action steps to get there. But realistic for most people, that's not a realistic goal, because maybe you need to be an astronaut. Maybe you need to become an astronaut. Maybe you need to be super rich and jump on board with Elon Musk. But something like that is, you have to become somebody different to get your goals. And we can talk about that in a different video. But, going to the moon is not always realistic for most people where you're currently at. Obviously a great goal to strive for, but sometimes you're going to have to become somebody else along the way, which, that's all goals are about, is a journey and growing along that journey, in my opinion. So keeping those goals realistic, where are you currently at? Do you have the knowledge and skill set to get there? If not, let's revise that action plan of, maybe I need to learn this before I can do this goal. And then lastly, for the SMART goals, it's time oriented, or having a timeline. Again, I want to make $1,000. Cool. Well, if I never say by when, it's never going to happen. So making $1,000 by March, whatever. But having a specific goal, March 1st by 12 o'clock, the more specific and more defined our goals are, the easier they are to get there. And that's the cool thing about goals is, you don't always have to change them, but you can always pivot and make sure we fine tune the details as we're going. So being able to use this knowledge and use this formula, the facts are, by the end of the year, 92% of New Year's resolutions end up failing. So that means only 8% of the population actually achieves their goals. And the big reason for that is because they don't have a set formula. They don't have a proven and tested method to actually achieve what they set out to achieve. So I hope this video is helpful for you guys. Give me some likes. Appreciate everybody that jumped on. But if you guys have questions, use the link below. Free SMART goal sheet. There's an outline of this. If you're more of a physical hands-on person, it's just like learning. The more avenues or more ways that we hear, see, feel, we're going to learn better. Same thing with our goals. We're going to become more and more in tune with them if we write it down, if we read it every day, if we talk to others about it. So there's a free SMART goal sheet. Feel free to print it out. You can always just open it up as a PDF and write your goals in there. But post it up somewhere you can see it every day. That way you can make sure that if this goal is that important, of course I want to see it every single day. So use that link. Thanks again for all the support, guys, and I hope you keep crushing this year. Have a good one.